we're talking about firsts and how exciting they are. I was wondering if, I know you had Fire, and we're going to talk about the bus, but do you remember any other recent or big, even just in the span of your career, like big firsts that you guys had and what it felt like? Is there anything that you're like, I don't know, you were like, we fucking did it?
I think playing Warped Tour for the first time was a huge first, because I grew up going there all the time, watching my favorite bands, like looking at the schedule, and you're only there for one day, you know, but trying to plan your day out. But then to live that and not know what time you're playing when you wake up and all of that, I feel like was a cool first for us. I remember, I think it was like a second or third day of that first Warped Tour was San Antonio, I believe. It started raining during our set, but something about that just felt like one of the coolest shows we had played in a long time. When we were on that first, or it was our second tour, but with August Burns Red, we played the Palladium in Worcester, Massachusetts. And that was 100% the first time I got off stage and felt like that natural high, like just pure euphoria, where you're like absolutely buzzing on life. That was probably like one of the biggest shows we had ever played at the time, period. And since then, I feel like that feeling kind of starts to change. You know, you have you get
used to things,
new big shows, you know, and then you play the newest, biggest show, and that starts to be like your standard, you know, like this festival, or we played Louder Than Life on that Beartooth tour of the festival, and that was one where you're just like, dude, this is nuts that we get to do this, you know.
I think I was there, right? Was I there? No. Yeah,
you may have been.
Where's Louder Than Life? It's in a weird spot, right?
I feel like that was like Kentucky.
Oh no, we weren't there. It was some Blue Ridge something.
Blue Ridge, is that in California or Carolina, maybe?
Yeah. I just remember Beartooth. Yeah, man, I remember seeing you guys on Warped Tour. Your band is one of the bands that I'll watch and then I'll want to get violent, but not in a mean way, just an excited way. I'm like, who's close to me that I can punch in a non-violent, excited way? Because I'm just like, oh, this is just, if you want a new workout band, Wage War is it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's our goal, is like we want action. You know, I want the mosh pit. I like creating the mosh pit. But like with catchy choruses you can sing and stuff like that, you know, like we know we're not Knock Loose, you know, where you actually want to punch someone in the face. But finding that mix of just like, you got to get some aggression out, I feel like is like the pocket I like us to ride in.
What's it feel like being on stage now that you're playing these bigger festivals and, you know, your bands, you know, I know you played you were playing opening slots when you're starting, and now that you have, you know, more of the audience knowing who you are, and at the same time, maybe more warmed up because you're playing later in the night. What's it like, I don't know, seeing a pit open up, or like being like, our music is doing this. It's doing the thing to them.
Yes. It's such a good feeling, you know, feeling like you have more like crowd control, you know, when you're opening, you have none and should almost expect none, you know?
Yeah.
And if you start to see any action at that point, you're like, all right, people are moving at all, you know, and it's cool. But to see people like singing the words, or it's getting to like a mosh call or a mosh pit part, and to see like a ton of action. Or this tour, we have a song called Godspeed that we have everyone jump for in the beginning, and just to feel like it's a consistent reaction every night. You know, when Britton tells people, like, when I count to 3, everyone jump, and it starts happening. I don't know, you like feel like powerful, you know, in like in the coolest way, where you have control over these people that are at the show, you know, and they want to do what you want to do, and they want to be part of that experience. You know, everyone's jumping on stage to hopefully have it happen. And I don't know, it feels so rewarding, you know, and I feel like some days it is easy to like take it for granted, you know, like, oh, I've done this before, you know, or whatever. But we really do try to remind ourselves a lot just how lucky and how cool that is, that like last night we played in Dallas, and that was probably one of my favorite shows on this tour. And there was like over 3,000 people there or whatever. It just looks like a sea of people. And it's like just the fact that we can go out there and there's people singing our words and jumping when we say and moshing at the breakdowns, you know, it's like, it's so
they
sick.
Get it.
Like, it's like, it just feels, you really do feel like your hard work is like paying off.
It's so easy to go to a show and see a band and just obviously you see them for those, you know, 30 minutes to an hour that night and be like, oh, they've always done this. This is where they're at. But I like humanizing it and understanding that this is, you know, 8 years of hard work for you. This is something you've looked forward for your whole life. This is not only the fans' best day, or it's your favorite time of the day, or it's what you've been looking forward to. It's nice to know it's a feeling that exists both on and off stage and isn't just, you know, they aren't mutually exclusive. I don't know. I didn't always realize that as a fan. I just didn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
100%. And for a lot of fans, it's like they come to see a show and this is the one day they're seeing you, you know, versus us. We played, let's say 20 shows in a month, you know, so it's, you kind of have to remind yourself every day, like give it your all, you know, don't take a day off, like because some person, like some kid, some fan that's in the crowd, like they may have been waiting all year to see the show, you know, and if you kind of take the night off
or
because
2
you
years,
just, you know, exactly. And it's like, if you take the night off just because it's what you've been doing, like maybe like they're not going to appreciate that, you know, or maybe they won't come back next time.